That is James Mennie. He is over at the Montreal Gazette. So, Jim, a couple of things in here today, starting, I guess, with surprise. I think that's the reaction most people have to find out that Simon Jolin Barrette, I guess who would have been, even though he said he doesn't have a favorite, he would have been probably, I would think, Francois Legault's first choice, but he says he will not run. So your reaction to that?
Well, I think maybe Monsieur Jolin Barrette had the epiphany that, most people can already see clearly is that the CAQ. I mean, we're talking about the CAQ as if, well, there'll be a leadership race, and we'll see which way the party is a flaming wreck. The party's done. The party's destroyed. The party is a listing, sinking hulk, and things were so bad. The guy who invented it has decided to leave his job. So I think Monsieur Jolin Barrette turned around and said, you know what? And yeah, he does cite the whole idea. Well, my family, and it's a very déchirant decision. A very tough decision. But I'm not going to look. He's not going to look for it, because after October, no matter what, you could be the grand emperor of the CAQ. You're going to be out of a job. So I think by all means, let democracy unfold. By all means, let the CAQ go through this dog and pony show. But the fact of the matter is, I think a lot of people, and I will take it one step further, Aaron, and I will respectfully suggest that I think in the end, Bernard Drinville will discover he needs to spend more time with his family or whatever. Okay. And we're going to wind up having a coronation. And with all due respect to Christine Frechette, who apparently is a very capable person, that said, you have to understand, you can be the best driver in the world, but the thing is, when the jalopy's wheels have fallen off and the engine block has gone through the bottom, you know what? It doesn't matter who you are. It's done. It's over. It's finished. And if nothing else, this ridiculous, I don't know what the hell to call it. It goes to show you as well, another reason why the CAQ is dead, when you have a couple of cabinet ministers announcing today that in their attempt in their campaign or their confirmation of the political independence and the identity independence of the Quebec nation, we're taking the crown off the Quebec coat of arms. If they're still playing that game, if they're still peddling that dumb shell game, thinking Quebecers are so stupid that indeed, never mind healthcare, never mind anything else, the economy. No. We know you're worried about whether or not there's a little crown on top of a coat of arms you've probably never seen before in your entire life. But this is for real, Aaron. This is like, so you've got Jolin Barrette, you've got Roberge, and they're doing this stuff for real. And the idea is, maybe I'm being a bit of a cockeyed optimist here, but do you really think Quebecers aren't looking at this and getting a little insulted by the fact that these guys essentially are talking to them like they're a bunch of morons? That in fact the idea that this absolutely obscure by the way, and inaccurate. We're getting rid of the British crown. It's not the British crown. It's the Canadian crown. I don't like saying it either, but it's the fact. But the idea is it works more for closet or not so closet separatists to turn around and call it the British crown. Because why? Because let's go back to the plains of Abraham. Let's go back 250, 260 years. People are. Do you honestly believe your average Quebecer is sitting there going, "Oh, thank goodness"?
Yeah, that's just it, Jim. That's what I don't get. I mean, no one brings this up. No one cares. To your point, so what's the symbolism here?
They're really, as far as I'm concerned, as we say in these parts, they're trying to save the furniture. I think they realize that even their core, rural, I'm scared of everything, uneducated, bigoted, xenophobic, Anglophobic, you name it, phobic, okay? Even they are abandoning the CAQ. And they may move towards the PQ because they figure, I'll feel more at home there. So they figure, well, what can we do fast? What can we pull out of the air? Oh, yeah, well, take the crown off the coat of arms.
Okay. I don't know. I would ask then, kind of further to that, and I know I brought it up yesterday, but this reaction from the Bloc, from the PQ, over Mark Carney's what they consider rewriting of Quebec history. Again, who cares, and how important or how unimportant is this?
But this is how desperate they are. because Mark Carney is the single most popular politician in Quebec, and not by a few points, Aaron. He's stomping everybody, whether it's at the provincial level, whether it's at the federal level. Okay, and this week, Mark Carney, once honest to God, in Quebec politics, once you've done your photo op with Bonhomme Carnival, let me tell you, you're in like Flint. Okay, and more people have probably seen that photo op and liked that photo op than even the Davos speech. Okay, but the fact is, he's got this figured out. Please don't tell me he's just tripping his way from one good luck piece to the next in Quebec. Even the whole thing with Mark Miller and the fact that he mentions, I'm fed up with the language debate being politicized, and it's like, was it a slip of the tongue? Carney knew exactly he knows exactly what's going on, and he knows exactly how to push these guys' buttons, and he's doing a great job of it because they are scared witless. When you've got basically Yves-François Blanchette, the head of the Bloc Québécois, and Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon, head of the PQ, parroting each other's, well, he's rewritten history. This is not, I'm going to deal with this. This is really, no. Okay. The only people who are having that conversation are the guys who are parroting each other and the dutiful stenographers who are writing it down as news. That's it. If you think there are people out there going, oh, this is ridiculous, Mark Carney. Did you hear what Mark Carney said? I want to separate right now. No, that's not happening at all. That is in the imagination of some Journal de Montréal columnist, perhaps, or some editorial writer at Le Devoir. But apart from that, ça tient pas gros. Okay, so let's just everybody take a deep breath and understand that apart from, and maybe I put them at the same level. As someone who scares the living bejesus out of separatists, I think Mark Carney is entering and may eventually exceed the class that was occupied by Pierre-Elliott Trudeau.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me kind of move from that. If I could follow along, I have Eric Duhamel here today at 5:30. And I wonder, so taking Simon Jolin Barrett's decision into mind here and everything that's going on, does this open up a window, do you think, for the provincial Conservatives or not?
It's tough to say because, and don't get me wrong, I'm a fan. I think this guy is one of the hardest workers in Quebec politics, Eric Duhamel. But once again, I just saw a report today suggesting that their fundraising was really, really low. They did not make a lot of money as opposed to the PQ, who I think got nearly $1 million. I think what's missing is I don't know, a hook for the Conservatives, but I'm not entirely sure they're going to be as big a factor. I could be completely wrong. I mean, honestly, we really have to wait for the next poll, and let's face it, let's call a spade. We have to wait for the next Léger poll to come out and see which way the wind is blowing. He has been doing well, and maybe the fundraising issue is more to do with people's ability to contribute to political parties. I don't know, but everything is so up in the air, Aaron, and nobody, no one's tipping their hands so far. I can't, because even a guy like Charles Milliard, who apparently seems to be the leader in waiting for the Quebec Liberal Party, we kind of know what he stands for. But I think it may have been David Hurtel, who you were talking to, who mentioned quite rightly that the guy's been quiet on a lot. He's been getting a lot of softballs tossed right over the middle of the plate, and he's been standing back. We haven't been hearing that much from him. And whereas this is exactly the time when your adversaries are down on their knees, this is exactly when you kick him in the teeth. But I mean, we'll see what happens. So I think it's really tough at this point to say who is going to benefit, who is not going to benefit. Talk to me when the nominations have closed for the CAQ leadership, and people will have to, despite themselves, acknowledge that if it ends up a party of one for the CAQ leadership, then I think all bets are off. Then you're going to see a real scramble back to the old, federal/separatist paradigm that dominated Quebec politics for 50 years and may dominate it for 50 more. But I think that's where we're going to be back. And then all of a sudden we'll have to redo our calculations. We'll have to redo our arithmetic in terms of who benefits and who doesn't. But I think for the time being, it would be very, very tough for anybody to honestly say A, B, and C is going to happen, because I think that all the players on all the sides of this game don't know themselves what's going to happen.
I wonder, to your point, though, Jim, are we not really back there already, regardless of who ends up leading what? Are we not back to that, oh, my God, here we go, it's separation versus not, federalists versus nationalists?
Well, Well, I think, absolutely. But here's the interesting thing, and maybe I'll change my tune next week after the PQ convention this weekend, pre-session convention. But the one thing that really seems to be missing is that spark, that passion. Whether it was with René Lévesque or any other PQ leader, whether it was a spark of grievance, the spark of inspiration, there really seems to be missing a spark in terms of what's motivating PEC support and the idea. I mean, on the one hand, we can honor Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon for sticking to his guns by saying, I am going to hold a referendum in our first term if we form the government. I think, a lot of people are just rolling their eyes and saying, I don't have the time for this. I got so much on my plate right now. Will you stop with this garbage? Which is why even this nonsense today with the coat of arms. Are we still being spoken to like we're absolute idiot children that you can pull this off? So whether it's the idea that, don't worry, separation will cure everything, or no, I'll just take the crown off and everything's going to be fine. We become more independent. People, I just don't think they're buying into that. And I think, yes, there is that dynamic, that separatist federalist dynamic, but I think, man, oh man, the separatist, how can I put it? The separatist sales pitch is a lot less passionate than it used to be.
Jim, I got to wrap up. I want to ask you to weigh in on this. I was asking this question off the top question I came across that asked, which I thought was kind of cool. What are you starting to dislike more as you get older?
Oh, in general, people who waste my time. Honest to God, I think a lot of our listeners will share that, because I'm discovering, big deal. My time is my most serious asset. So whether someone is talking to me, sucking up oxygen, talking nonsense to me, or whatever, that is the thing I have less and less patience for, is wasting my time. Get to the point, life.
Time to go to traffic. Jim, thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Brian Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
or the free iHeartRadio app.